to Saint Matthew, the evangelist, apostle, and pure disciple, may his blessing be with us all. Amen. Ben Shoy, so benoti ben sotiro ben orotirin, Isos be Christos ebshirim evnoti be, eton chvion abshayne bion fa benoti bishan intinitiro amir. The Psalms of our teacher, the prophet and king, may his blessing be with us all. Amen. I'll praise you with my whole heart before the gods. I'll sing praises to you, worship towards your holy temple in the day when I cried to you, you answered me.
Hallelujah.
Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, our Lord God and Savior, King of all, Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. Glory be to you forevermore. Amen. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats, and he'll set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right hand, come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, you clothed me. I was sick, you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, thirsty, and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? Or when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you? And the king will answer and say to them, surely I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these my brethren, you did it to me. Then he'll also say to those who are on the left hand, depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in. Naked, you did not clothe me. Sick and in prison, you did not visit me. Then they will also answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty, or stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister to you? Then he will answer them, saying, surely I say to you, inasmuch as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. And these will go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into everlasting life.
Glory be to God forever.
In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God. Amen. Just a very quick word on today's gospel, as it's a very important gospel and serves as a reminder for us in terms of our daily life. The gospel of today is from the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 25, verse 31 to 46. And in the same chapter, our Lord is preaching and he's giving them parables. The first parable he uses is a parable of the five foolish virgins and the 5 wise virgins, and then the parable of the talents, and then he talks to them about the judgment of the nations. So what is it that our Lord is giving us in terms of teaching today? Today's gospel talks about the difference between when we receive from the world as opposed to when we receive from Christ. If we look at the 2 parables that he used, the 5 foolish virgins and the 5 wise virgins, as well as the talents, you see in both parables that our Lord gave them. He gave the virgins the invitations, he gave the servants the talents. And he didn't give them because they did something first. No, he gave them and then asked them to do something with it afterwards. What does that mean? The virgins were invited. They didn't have to do anything to be invited, but after they were invited, they were expected to stay awake and have their lamps full of oil. The servants were given the talents. They didn't have to do anything before to be given the talents, but they were given the talents and afterwards they were asked to invest them. And this is our Christianity. In the world, we have to prove ourselves first before we get something. We have to show or pay to get. When you buy something, you have to pay for it, money, to receive the object. When you're at work and you want to get a higher position, you have to show them that you are capable and work hard to get that high position. Even in things such as getting people's affection, people's love, or people's friendship. Sometimes you have to go out of your way and put in lots of effort to be able to find that love or find that affection. But our Lord says to us today, I've given you first. I've given you first. He gave us his salvation. He gave us his love. He gave us his fatherhood. So much so that it says here, then the king will say to those on his right hand, come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. The word here is inherit, not prove yourself for it, not work for it and then I'll give it to you, not show me if you're worthy of it first. No, it's inherit. It was created for you because you are my creation. But like the talents, you have to work to keep that inheritance. Like the 5 foolish virgins, they had to work to have extra oil, such that when the inheritance comes, then they're ready for it. It's almost like in our daily dealings with people, when someone gives you a gift, or it's very often in our households for Eid, someone gives you a plate of like kahk or something, you can't return that plate empty. You have to return the plate with just as much in it, if not more, to show your thankfulness for it. Someone buys you a present, it will be your turn to return that present to the same value, if not more. But the present that we received here, you can't repay it. And that's like when someone gets you an extraordinarily expensive present that you can't pay back. What do? You're always indebted to that person for the entirety of your life. You do your best to serve them, look after their family, look after their children, be there for them because of the awe and the love and the respect that you have for them because of what they did for you first. And this is why when our Lord calls his children and he says to them, because I was hungry and you fed me, thirsty and you gave me a drink, I was a stranger, you took me in, naked, you clothed me, I was sick or in prison and you came to me. And they said to him, Lord, when did we do any of that? They did it because they were in awe of the present that they got first. Like we said, when someone gets you a present that's so extraordinarily expensive, you're doing things out of love continuously. When they come, why did you have to do this? Why did you have to do it? You don't feel that you did it. You did it because you love them. You did it because it became part of your nature to do it without you noticing. And that's why the people that are righteous don't notice when they do these things. It's part of who they are. They know the gift that they've received, and that gift covers everything else in their life, that returning anything to God is never sufficient. They always do whatever they can, not because they go out of their way, but because it becomes who they are. The opposite is the people that just take. It's always like having that friend that you go out with, and then when you get to the restaurant, they forgot their wallet, or they forgot to pay for the coffee last time, and they're going to pay for the time after, but the time after never comes. The ones that just take, that never give back. And when they try to give back, they feel like they're taking a piece of their skin to give it back to you. These are the people that will say, well, when did you ask us, O Lord, that you were thirsty or you were hungry, or, and we didn't come to you? Because they didn't appreciate the gift that they got. They didn't appreciate the value of it. They didn't appreciate the sacrifice that was given to them. They just took it and treated it as something that was normal. Yesterday, we celebrated the life of Ammu Bahgat Helmi. May our Lord rest his soul. And some of the fathers that were serving with him told us some of the beautiful stories about his service. One that really touched my heart was that Ammu Bahgat was the type that would leave his family on Christmas Day or Easter Day, when everyone's trying to get together and have lunches and barbecues, and go with Abuna, or sometimes without Abuna, to go visit the hospitals, go visit the sick, go visit the needy, go visit those that have no one to ask on them for that feast and that celebration, and celebrate with them, and take them chocolates, and take them any little present. And he got more joy out of doing that than anything else. He did it not because Abuna asked him. He did it not because someone called him and said, come. He did it not because there was something in his mind that said, I have to do this to receive. No. He did it because he knew that he already received from God, and this was his way of trying to give back through his life. And this is what our Lord is teaching us today. He will give us, like the 5 Polish versions, the invitation. He will give us the talents to live on this earth. He will give it to us first, not ask and then give. No, he gave it to us first. But he's expecting that we keep it and we maintain it. And we thank him for what he gave us through the way that we live our life, and anything that we are trying to do in terms of that beautiful gift that he gave us. We don't do it because we have to. We don't do it because we feel obliged, but we do it because he gave us first. May our Lord grant us the wisdom to live the life of being able to give from his love and not be fooled by the world in terms of receiving only when we have to do first, or receiving because we're worthy, or receiving because we are self-based and self-focused. But that we received because it's our inheritance, and he who gave us that inheritance is the one that gave it to us freely, and we have to be able to show him throughout our life that we keep this talent and we keep this oil. And glory be to God forevermore. Amen.